I'm going to use my essential oils one more time. I miss essential oils and music and hugs. That's what I miss the most. Well, lots of
want
things.
the verdict.
In terms of objects, yeah.
I want the verdict to be not guilty, and I think it should be because the people are ready for the temple. They looked at our case and they determined that Tracy Elise was not a prostitute and that she's a spiritual woman on her quest. And she got caught up in the state and all the games that they play, and they see right through that, and so they decide not guilty. What's the outcome you want?
Well, when they threw me in jail before,
Outcome you want, please.
I felt it all around me as energy. I felt that I had been dropped into a dark energy. And right now, I feel joy. You know, this is where a person with a lot of faith can do things. So I would say to everyone, whether win, lose, or draw today, just getting this far for me and being able to put everything in public record
Was a win.
Is a win. Yeah, it's a win. So everything's in public record. They're not going to silence me. They're not going to silence the temple. And also, when this story happens, maybe some of the people who were too afraid to talk will then upload some video and say what temple meant to them. I hope that's what happens. And I hope seekers come out of the woodwork to say, yeah, that helped me. The people of the temple, not just the Phoenix temple, but the temple in San Diego, the temple in Seattle, the temple, you know, there's temples everywhere, small temples. People who practice this in their homes, small group practices. And I want this to be a win for every one of us. Yay! What do you want to say, Sylvie?
Why do you want? What's your?
I think that Mom winning will show that people should have faith in other people, even when you don't have faith in the system, and that standing up for yourself is valuable. Her winning will teach people to have faith in humanity and to have faith in yourself in order to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, that would be a beautiful gift.
And to trust yourself that you can do anything, and that if an injustice does happen to you, that you can, by helping yourself, you will help others in the future as well. So that's mine.
I think it's going to be not guilty. I think right now we're in the middle of a movement where the people are tired of an unjust system. Where many times throughout this process, the jury asks questions about, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Towards the prosecution, and I think there's a movement towards a better justice system and them doing a better job. And I think they came up with this decision so quickly because they're saying, hey, you know what? You guys were unorganized. There's not enough evidence here.
You didn't do a good enough
job. Didn't do a good enough job, and that's it.
And that's true. They didn't. In a 6-month investigation for undercover wires, that's not good enough. I mean, what?
And they were given dates that have nothing to do with the time period of when the investigation took place. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
They got the exhibit card and there was no index. The jury gets to ask questions, and so we got called back to the courthouse and to ask questions or to answer the questions or to decide what to do with the questions. And they said, is there an index for what's on the exhibit card that tells us what each item is? And then I said, yes, let's provide the exhibit list. But of course that would show how many exhibits didn't get into evidence, that I was blocked somehow or didn't understand how to get them into evidence. I don't think they actively blocked me. They just used the rules to block me. And I didn't understand the rules. I mean, I can't tell you how many times in this journey that Ben or I or somebody, we'd be like, they can do that. It was like the first day of trial or right before the trial was going to begin, and they're like, your children can't testify
It's the 14th Amendment.
if they help you with the trial. So we had to choose.
It is written for them to have their cake and eat it too, at the lower level. and you got to get to the higher levels of complexity and judgment of where they apply human nature, common law. So right now we're in a business court. We'll see.
They did press commerce onto us. They made it about commerce when to us it was about something else. So, and yes, I didn't back down that this was about sacred sexuality. I think in a lot of prostitution trials, the people try to get, you didn't prove that I did that. And from opening statements, I said, this is going to be uncomfortable because the state's going to talk about sexuality and touching people's body parts, and it's going to be embarrassing because we don't usually talk about things like that. And I said, and I'm telling you now in my opening statements that there was sacred sexuality happening at the temple. And I wish that we didn't have to talk about it. I wish we could just say, yeah, that was happening. Let's talk about everything else. So that we don't go into these private moments forcibly on the stand. And that made me mad that they used the power of the state to get inside a ceremony and then strip it of its sacred quality and sort of turn it into some, like, you know, just a sleazy report of what happened, like as if you were watching it from the outside. Somebody touched someone's white wand, somebody touches someone's breasts or whatever, and then they did that. They kept, you know, every time they did that with a witness, it felt so bad. So.
And Ed Leiter lied on the stand like 5 times. He lied in his closing arguments, continuing their persona and their. They all lied. They lied throughout the whole trial. The witnesses, they all work for the state. They all have contracts for the state. They all lied. It's the state versus.
They all lied.
It's true.
We didn't really bring that out. It's their testimony, so their testimony is a lie.
I guess they have to live with whatever they choose to say and do. And I guess we do too.
I just don't want anyone to worry about me because I'm always in ministry, so they can't take that from me. And I can always make new friends. I can always make new sisters. I'm really going to miss the people that have been loving me through this.